Mastering the internal kingdom. The only sovereignty that matters. Have you ever felt like a dry leaf caught in a gale, tossed by the whims of people you don't even like, or circumstances you cannot change? You wake up, and the world has already decided your mood. A critical email, a late train, or a sharp comment from a stranger, and just like that, your peace is gone. You feel like a victim of 1,000 tiny arrows, bleeding out your energy to a world that doesn't care about your struggle. We are taught that power is found in the outside world, in the titles we hold, the money we command, and the influence we exert. But what if the only sovereignty that actually matters is the one that exists within the four walls of your own skull? Consider the story of a man named Julian. Julian was a man of great external power. He was a high-ranking official in a city of millions. He managed thousands of people, signed documents that changed the landscape of the country, and was surrounded by those who bowed to his will. To the world, Julian was a king, but inside, he was a slave. He lived in a state of constant, vibrating fear. If a political rival whispered a rumor, Julian's heart would race for days. If the public criticized his decisions, he would lie awake at night, rehearsing angry rebuttals. His happiness was a hostage, held for ransom by the opinions and actions of others. He sat on a throne of gold, but his spirit was in chains. One sweltering afternoon, exhausted by the weight of his own anxiety, Julian took a walk through the oldest part of the city. He found himself in a quiet alleyway where a man was sitting on a simple wooden stool, repairing old, leather-bound books. The man's name was Thomas. He had no wealth, no title, and no influence. Yet, as Julian watched him work, he noticed something extraordinary. The market around them was a chaos of noise, shouting, and dust. A horse nearly trampled Thomas's stool, and a group of children ran by, knocking his tools to the ground. Thomas simply smiled, picked up his needle, and continued his work with a grace that felt like a cool breeze in the desert heat. "How are you not angry?" Julian asked, his own voice tight with the stress of the day. "The world is trying to interrupt you. It is disrespectful. It is loud. Doesn't it bother you that you have no control over this chaos?" Thomas looked up, his eyes clear and untroubled. "Julian," he said softly, "I have no power over the horse or the children. They belong to the world. But I have absolute sovereignty over this small space where I sit. I have decided that my peace is inviolable. If I allow the noise to make me angry, then I have handed the keys to my kingdom to a stranger. Why would I give away my most precious possession so cheaply?" Julian stood frozen. He realized that Thomas, the bookbinder, was more of a king than he had ever been. Thomas possessed the only power that is truly permanent, the power of the internal kingdom. In the philosophy of Stoicism, there is a fundamental concept called the dichotomy of control. It is the realization that the world is divided into two realms. The first is the external realm, the weather, the past, the economy, and the thoughts of other people. This realm is a wild animal. You can track it, you can fear it, but you can never tame it. The second is the internal realm, your judgments, your values, and your voluntary responses. This is your kingdom. Most of our modern misery stems from the fact that we try to rule the external realm while leaving our own internal kingdom in ruins, governed by the whims of every passing emotion. To master your internal kingdom, you must first build your internal citadel. This is a fortress made of your own principles. When a crisis hits, your first instinct is to look outward and ask, "Why is this happening?" This is a mistake. The king within asks, "How shall I respond to this?" By shifting your focus from the why of the world to the how of the self, you reclaim your power. You realize that while you cannot choose your cards, you are the absolute master of how you play the hand. The second pillar of internal sovereignty is the practice of equanimity. This is the ability to remain level-headed when the world is in a frenzy. It is built through the discipline of silence. In the modern world, we are afraid of silence because it forces us to face the fact that we aren't actually in control of anything outside ourselves. But silence is where the king finds his strength. By taking 10 minutes every day to sit in total stillness, you are practicing your sovereignty. You are telling the world, you may scream, but I will not answer. Think about your own life. Who is currently sitting on the throne of your mind? Is it your boss? Is it an ex-partner? Is it the fear of what people might think of you? If someone else has the power to make you angry, sad, or anxious with a single word, then they are your master. You are living in a kingdom you do not own. Mastering the internal kingdom means taking back the crown. It means realizing that your peace is a choice, not a result of your circumstances. Julian returned to his high office, but he carried the lesson of Thomas with him. When a rival attacked him in a meeting, Julian felt the initial spark of anger. But he paused. He retreated into his internal citadel. He asked himself, does this person have the power to touch my character? Number, does this person have the power to change my values? Number, he breathed, and the anger died. He responded with a calm that unnerved his enemies. They could not touch him, for he was no longer playing their game. He was finally a king. This journey of sovereignty is a process of letting go. You must let go of the desire to be understood by everyone. You must let go of the need for the world to be fair. You must let go of the heavy luggage of the past. When you travel light, you move with power. You find a sense of tranquility that is not a passive retreat, but an active, radiant strength. As you go through your day, remember the bookbinder on his wooden stool. When the world pushes against you, and it will, do not push back. Stand firm in your own center, remind yourself. This is an external event. My peace is an internal choice. You are the only person who can grant or deny access to your soul. Do not give the keys away. Secure your gates, rule your thoughts with kindness and courage, for in the heart of the internal kingdom, you will find a healing that the world can never give, and a sense of control that no chaos can ever shatter. You are the sovereign. It is time to take your throne.